Well, folks, the flood of premium tier 9s continue with the Yong Bing, a tier 9 premium Chinese rocket boosted double barrel heavy tank. It is more in line with the size of a 703 than a can opener, especially for the weak cupola. On the commander side, on the loader side, there's a shot trap from the bottom of the mantlet into the driver hatch, and the driver compartment is flat in the front, so eating gold shell and having a dead driver all the time. But the turret design looks more like a T-34 hexagonal design with the mushroom vents in the back. There's a different model for the rocket boosters. It is more frequent in charges, but not as long of a duration, similarly to the WZ-114, but it is double barrels with rocket boosters. Funny enough, this is not the first multi-mechanic on a vehicle in design terms, right? We have stuff like the Char Model 75, the UDES-0303, but this is perhaps the first activatable multi-mechanic vehicle in the game, with the activation of the rocket boosters and activation of the double shot. But yeah, that cupola is pretty huge. It's like the WZ-114, but yeah, not exactly a good slow heavy tank with multi-weak spots on the turret, right? So plays like a medium tank. It's not as fast as the DZT by all means, but more firepower, presumably. Not really. 𝗬𝗫, classic. Also, why isn't the 𝗬𝗫 as a 3D attachment for your vehicle, right? We have the 𝗕𝗫, we have the minigun, not the 𝗬𝗫. This is classic. Other than the 𝗕𝗶ቪ machine gun, but whatever. Yeah, that cupola, look at the size. Easy weak spot. Oh. I mean, you have the speed and maneuverability on the 5As to outrun the shots into your cupola, right? Not exactly for a slow vehicle like a STI, so that's why WZ-114 sucked. Really sucked in comparison to the smaller cupola on the BZ-68. So yeah, the BZ-68 is a godsend compared to the 114. Not even close. Alright, let's take a look at the stats. 440 alpha, average pin for AP round, shell velocity, not really that great, but then again it's Chinese, so on average, no surprise. It is a lock time and prep time, similarly to the Russians, not like the Brits. So changing gun is 6 seconds from firing the first gun into the second gun, but salvo prep is 3 seconds, salvo lock is 3 seconds. On average, about the same as with the Russians. So aim time is okay, not half bad. I mean, comparatively to like above 3 seconds. Accuracy could be better, but hopefully dispersion is not as bad as the 114. Only 8 degrees of gun depression, so hiding the cupola is not really that great, but 40 rounds, 2 loaders. You'll have to drag one loader from a BZ-75 from the 5A to make this vehicle work with the Bertelsmann arms, but top speed is okay for a slow heavy. It's about 12 horsepower per ton ratio, going up to 32, but hull traverse, turret traverse, not crazy for a heavy. Also, you have less duration, but more charges of the rocket boosters. It's like the DZT in a sense. What's the DZT 5 seconds of charge compared to 10? Have to make sure. OCD acting up, as always. Mobility, how many charges? 7 charges of only 5 seconds. So this thing gets 10 charges of 4 seconds. Technically overall, longer of a boost, right? 40 seconds compared to 35? Technically, I don't know. But it depends on the weight of the vehicle. If this vehicle weighs nothing, then it's pointless to ram with the rocket boosters. 1900 health, turret armor is 300 at the front, which is pretty thick, but hull armor is 200. Side armor is 60. Ugh. Side armor sucks. It's like the 114. Kinda blind too, at 380 meters of view range. That's the same as the 111 at tier 8. So pretty blind of a vehicle, even though you already have a prominent cupola on top. I don't know, it is premium, so anything's better than the 114. No question, anything's better. 2200 DPM is on average about the same with a double shot. Aim time, accuracy, not the worst, right? Not the worst, depending on dispersion and soft stats while traversing. But 8 degrees gun suppression. Gun seems fine, right? On average, it seems fine for now. So not too difficult to work with most of the time. 1900 health. Still 60 for the hull sides. It's 190 for the hull front. So I presume it's 190 for the main plate and 200 for the driver compartment, but flat 200-ish, that's about 230? At least 220 based on the slight sloping, but gold shell will still go through most of the time. Cupola weak spot, mantlet shot trap, like I said, shoot the bottom plate. So overall, meh armor. I mean, at least it's 300 supposedly on the turret front, so not hopefully a weak mantlet like with the Ulan. We already covered that vehicle, but Russian server only. About 12 horsepower per ton ratio, so yeah, you boost more frequently, but not as long of a boost, and only weighing 51 tons. You can only ram a medium tank, but then again, some medium tanks are heavy, like this vehicle weighs about 41 tons. So some medium tanks are pretty chunky. I mean, technically you can also ram with this vehicle, but yeah, okay. Alright, fine. Camo, yeah. For a heavy, that's fine, I guess. View range sucks. It is kind of blind. I don't know how I feel about this vehicle, right? You have the weak spots of a 5A, but you don't have the maneuverability. It's like a WZ-114 when you think about it, just with double shot, right? Originally, the 72 has the mobility of the 5A, except it comes with the rocket boosters, but it got nerfed to shit from the Supertest. So originally had like 50 km/h top speed, but they nerfed it to 30 on the tier 10. So it's like that aspect of a weak spots for a turret, except you're slow too. So why the hell even play it over stuff like the 5A when you have maneuverability? So originally this thing is fast, or it's still fast, right? But you have the cupola weak spot on top, so you have to move about, play more like a medium tank with this vehicle. On the super test of this vehicle, it is the same, about 50 km/h top speed, with pretty decent horsepower per ton ratio, like 17 or so. Yeah, 17 or so, but they nerfed it to 35 km/h top speed. It still has the weak spot on top, so at least this thing has the maneuverability with a turbocharger. This thing is slow. This thing is 11. So it's not great. By all means, it's not great. I mean, compared to the turret front on a 703, you'll have much better time with the 703 than this vehicle. So rocket boosters for the engine, double shot for the gun. There's no like spare track mechanic, a triple mechanic vehicle. That would be fun, but yeah, it's not like the 703. You'll have so much better of a time in Russian bias, of course. And surprisingly, this vehicle has very good dispersion for some reason. Compared to the 𝗕𝗏 1, its brother with a single shot, this thing has dramatically better dispersion while moving for some reason. But this turret front is surprisingly good. Well, it's not that surprising, but it's still very good, right? Cupola is very small, and it's practically the same vehicle, just better performing. Same horsepower per ton ratio without the rocket boosters, but at a tier lower. So, yeah. Tier 9 premium floods. I mean, you don't have to get this vehicle, right? You really don't. One tier 9 premium is all you need, and medium tanks outpace the heavy tanks in power level right now, especially with stuff like the DZT or the 𝗕𝗏. Yeah, premium tier 9 medium tanks have a better power level compared to heavy tanks, but there's a flood of it recently. It's nice that the gun is canted or differently than normally when you see it on the heavy tanks for the Russians or the Brits. It's aligned together rather than like a X shape, but whatever. So by all means, it's better than the 114, but the 114 is a joke. They actually offered it on discount for like 10,000 gold. Randomly popping up in the store page when you're trying to look at other stuff, but this vehicle sucks. Holy Jesus almighty, this vehicle blows. The only saving grace is it has more health than on average, but 60mm hull size. Piece of shit. It cannot side scrape. Not even close to side scraping. It sucks. 114 is mostly good when hauled down, but look at the size of the 𝗕𝗶. It's like an SDI, but they just shoot the 𝗕𝗶. SDI has side armor. This thing doesn't have side armor. This thing has garbage gun handling. Like with the Grill 15, it's like 0.33 for dispersion. This vehicle blows. Anything's better than the 114. No, look at the dispersion, especially for turret traverse. You cannot even aim your freaking shots while snapshotting. God, this gun sucks. DPM sucks. So anything's better than this piece of crap. But then again, tier 9 floods. Spamming tier 9. We have a stock Conqueror coming up, the FV-214T. It's a stock Conqueror with a 55-pounder, the same gun that's on the Turtle. But for this vehicle, yeah, I would say vents, vertical stabilizer, possibly a turbocharger in the likes of... Actually, this is single shot. I cannot compare. Double shotting. I like an IS-3-2, but then again, that thing has armor. That thing has a strong turret. How the hell can you compete against the IS-3-2? It doesn't. Yeah, the 𝗕𝗶 on this thing is very small of a lip right there. And they boosted the armor on the pike front as well. This thing is so much better. So enhanced gun lane drive or gunner sights, that's up to you. I should put improved hardening on this vehicle. It's still 90, but it has the side skirts. It's up to you for vents or improved hardening. If you want... Oh, no. No, it's not up to you. This is vents. It's vents for this vehicle. 60mm hull size, you're not side scraping. Just go hull down all the time. Don't rely on side scraping. And in that case, go with vents, right? Go with vents. Don't go with improved hardening. You're not supposed to side scrape, as with stuff like this. This is side scraping vehicle. This is where improved hardening really helps, because you have your tracks blown off all the time. It's a V-shaped hull. This is not it. Not exactly. It's a IS-3 side armor compared to IS-4 side armor, right? So yeah, side scraping with these vehicles, you need improved hardening. Not exactly side scraping with this. So yeah, I would say enhanced gun lane drive, vertical stabilizer, and vents. Possibly switching the enhanced gun lane drive for improved aiming or gunner sights, but yeah, okay. Maybe turbocharger, maybe. It's not fast. Is it breakthrough? It is breakthrough, so let's use the IS-3. First one is track health or track terrain resistance. If you want to go faster, track health takes a hit, but you're not side scraping all the time. And if you already have practicality on your commander for repair kit, it doesn't matter. So I would say better mobility, right? Your mobility already sucks. I would say better mobility. Aim time or gun circle size. Aim circle size. Accuracy. I would say accuracy. Most of the time is accuracy, unless it's like garbage accuracy already, and you just want like better aim time. So, if the accuracy is above like 0.45 or 0.4-ish, I would say 4.5 is the cutoff, but that's where you want better aim time. Right now, it's still decent enough to get a boost from lowering or having a worse aim time is not as bad as having worse accuracy, right? Worse accuracy sucks. Go with better accuracy at this point. View range or stun duration, view range. Sometimes there's no artillery, sometimes you're behind cover, better view range. Top speed or aim time, top speed. Go faster, especially when rocket boosting, but this thing also weighs like 60-ish tons. 60-ish tons. So you're only ramming with the rockets on very light vehicles, like medium tanks or light tanks, or possibly artillery. But overall, it's like this thing when you think about it. This thing actually has some side armor in comparison. It's 140 above the tracks. It's not exactly 140 all the way around. Otherwise, it's better than 𝗕𝗵4. Not better than the STI. It's 90 above the tracks. It is 140 above the tracks. And there's slight V-shape too when you're looking at it. But the ULAN has been in Marathon technically, or Assembly Shop. They call it Assembly Shop, but cupola weak spots, flat turret front, not inspiring. About the same handling of the gun too. Accuracy, aim time is about the same with the same DPM, just lower alpha for a faster reload and shorter of a lock. But this thing has 15.5 horsepower per ton. That is not bad, and 40 kilometers per hour top speed. Still has the commander cupola and the loader cupola weak spot, but hey, garbage view range as well. I don't know. I mean, the flood of tier 9s is not inspiring. I would rather see a flood of tier 7s or tier 6 premium. It's been eons since we saw a premium tier 6 or tier 5. No. Well, then again, BT-42 doesn't really count, right? That's a tie-in for a special event, so for Girls on Panzer, but it's been eons since we saw a tier 6, tier 7 premium, tier 5 premium. They scrapped the Comrades 75. Well, then again, the Black Prince Proto was dug up. It's not exactly a new vehicle, so it's still been eons since they actually developed a unique tier 6 premium, low tier premium, right? They have this stuff like last year's D-Day vehicle from Battle Pass with the Sherman, with the ARL, and the Churchill, but those are basically copies with the skin, not exactly a unique vehicle. So yeah, it's been an eon of a tier 6, tier 5, tier 7 premium that's unique. So I don't know. Tier 9 premiums are the favorite now, obviously, so Conquer stock coming up too. Once I get the pictures of the FV-214T, we'll see it, but Jesus Christ, how many freaking tier 9 floods you need? Also, the nomenclature of this vehicle is also kind of weird. It means forever ice in Chinese. American named their tanks after generals. The British named their tanks after the letter C. Germans for cats. And the Russians have no imagination, so they just give it a number. But overall, just like, okay. What the hell does forever ice mean? I have no idea. 𝗵𝗕 ling. But there you go, folks. The Yong Bing, I will give it a, I would say 5, but the armor is not great. I would say like 4. 4.5 at this point. If they buff the side armor, buff the cupola, possibly, but, or maybe the top speed on this vehicle, right? Just not that flavorful, but still better than the 114. I would say 4 for now. For a heavy tank, 4. Yeah, if for a medium tank, it's like a 5. For a heavy tank, you have freaking so many weak spots and cannot even side scrape. It's not even that fast too, so if the dispersion on this gun also sucks, then it's like a same category as a 114. That vehicle blows. So for now, yeah, tier 9 premium heavy tanks are not really that great. Not really, when you think about it. The on average decent ones are likely 𝗕𝗵𝗴 or the Chieftain Proto. 752 is more like a medium tank autoloader, so it plays a little bit differently. So this thing sucks. God, it blows. This should be tier 8. It's even average, mediocre at tier 8. I just want to riff on this piece of crap, but yeah, this vehicle is more like 4 to 4.5 for now. Buff the cupola armor, buff the actual armor on the sides, on the driver hatch. We can talk, but for now, like a 4 to 4.5. So as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
あれが未来に何度でもずっと食らいつくこの間違い